How many hours of revision should you be doing at the weekend if you want to get all A stars in your A-levels? How many hours of revision did I do a weekend to get 5 A stars in my A-levels? When you go to sixth form, you need to know that you need to be doing revision outside your homework and outside the class. As a rule of thumb, sixth forms in the UK tend to say 4 hours of independent study a week. Is this too much? Is this too little? Let me explain. I'm a huge advocate for not setting a set amount of time, but a set amount of tasks. And here is how you need to set tasks for your weekend in order to revise content, in order to get things into your long-term memory. You need to split your weekend tasks up into 3 areas. 1. Reviewing what you learnt that week. 2. Reviewing a topic that you haven't done in a few weeks or months. And 3. Preparing for the week ahead. Let me explain how you do each one of these things. First one is quite easy. It's understanding what you did that week. Make sure that you go over the content that you covered in all your classes that week and you understand everything. This is often done through your homework. Your teacher will assign homework. You're kind of reviewing it anyway. You understand the homework or you don't. I would say this element of revision isn't actually huge. But you do actually need to set that time aside if you don't understand your homework or you didn't quite get something in the class. Be reading a textbook and then using the Feynman technique in order to get that information into your long-term memory. Teach someone else. Say number 1 is the easiest thing to do and you're probably already doing it naturally. Number 2, reviewing content from a few weeks or months ago. This is where having a study plan comes in real handy, because you and I both know that spaced repetition is how you get things into your long-term memory. Say you're currently studying pure maths in A-level maths, you should be going over the mechanics content to just make sure you haven't forgot it, make sure you haven't got a fundamental misunderstanding of the concepts, doing a few practice questions and just freshening it up in your mind, really beating that forgetting curve. And number 3, what are you doing next week? This one is the shortest task. So if you know what you're doing, you can just read on the next chapter of the textbook. Figure out what you're going to be doing in the next week, ask your teachers at the end of the week, or just, actually read ahead in the specification, because the specification should be being taught in order. Yeah, just sort of like introduce yourself to a topic. I'm not saying completely understand it and then go into your class, but make sure you're not just going into a class completely I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. Read it, think about how it relates to the previous week and other areas of the specification. Where have you seen this kind of thing before? So the question on everybody's lips, how long does this take? I hate to tell you, but it does probably take about 4 hours for each subject. This needs to be done on top of your homework. Spend about 2 hours a week reviewing old topics per subject. Spend about an hour, making sure you understand what you learned in the class that week, but then again, if you're doing that through your homework, you understand it, then this is going to take less than an hour. And then honestly, understanding what you're going to be doing the next week, going over things, I wouldn't say that takes a whole hour for each subject, if I'm honest. That is certainly the shortest task that you're going to have to do. And this might sound like a lot, 4 hours of independent study,